morning, winners. We are winning the day all across the USA. I'm Mark Simpson, sitting in the seat for John Moran, who is out on assignment, and honored to be here talking to you and excited about today. Today is Friday, and John teed up a great conversation with us for us. And let me just say, joining us from Arizona is Julie Morris. Julie, glad you're here. And Destiny Powell, all the way from Navarre. That's what, 30 minutes down the road, depending on the traffic. It could be an hour and a half. So, hey, we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you're winning with us. Would love to hear where you're winning from. Shayna, good morning to you as well. Glad that you're here. So comment, like, post, share, whatever it is. Help us help more people win. So let's talk about your winning the day. Let's talk about what you need to do. And we're going to be talking today in particular of making current events work for you. So making current events work for you, what does that mean? Well, we're going to look at a couple different things, and I'm just going to break it down, then we're going to break it down, okay? The first thing is identify what the thing is in your area. And there's always news. There's some kind of current event. Now, for us on the Emerald Coast, when a hurricane kind of gets into the coast or into the Gulf and is coming this way, it's a great event. There could be a major, shift back to school, whatever. It could be many things, from weather to events to tragedies to what have you. There are so many different things. So the key is identify what the thing is in your area, create a news report about what's about to happen. Go ahead and speak to it and establish a MOFR around that thing. Now, MOFR just simply means make offer for immediate response. You're not wanting to have a versation, which is just talking at people. You're wanting to have a conversation. And so you're making an offer for immediate response so that you can get into conversation. And then you reach out to as many owners, buyers, and sellers in your geographic area, and you tell them about your MOFR. Here's the news. Here's the MOFR. It's something of value that they go, yes, that speaks to me pertaining to this thing that's important to me. And that is how we can take the things all around us. Events are always happening every single day, and use that to move our business forward. So those are the pieces. And let's just take a moment here, Julie and Destiny, and come up with a handful of things that could be happening all around us that we could use as a point of conversation. And I'd love for you that are watching to drop in some MOFRs around some of these ideas. Mm-hmm. All right. Julie, what do you think?
So, there's plenty of MOFRs. There's national, there's local. So, what's happening on a national level, what's happening on a state level, a local level. So, for example, weather. But what's happening in the real estate world? So for us on a national level, on a local level, the change in the law for not having compensation MLS. Arizona went into effect yesterday. So compensation is no longer listed in MLS. Mm-hmm. And I know 8/17 is the date for the nation, but that's something to talk about with clients. Reach out and say, this is the change. The other thing specific that you can do over and over is anytime you have a price reduction, calling everybody who's seen a property and saying, hey, we had a price reduction, just want to see if this is your favorite property, if you're still interested, that sort of thing. When you're having an open house, calling around the open house, knocking around the open house, getting people, letting them know, hey, we're having an open house, you might have some traffic on the street, just want to let you know. So it can be any type of event. Those are just some examples.
Mm-hmm. Julie, what strikes me is, say we have to do a price reduction. And a great messaging is, hey, we recently had a property and had to adjust the price downward. Let me run a quick review on your home value and make sure it's holding steady, or see if it's moving, if it's holding steady, increasing or decreasing. Some people may want to kind of, oh my gosh, what's my house doing? It could be anything as simple as that. Destiny, what are your thoughts?
Well, I like the point about, we've got a storm brewing right now, and not sure what it's going to turn into, but we've got something coming. And so I know people, would love to have information on, insurance and how the storm can affect your homeowner's insurance, maybe talking about home value with the insurance. And then I even think about taking it to another level. And, we've got a roofer that works with our team that utilizes using your insurance to get a new roof, and say we get a storm that messes your roof up. Offering that point of value to clients, I think is important, and using that situation in that event.
Giving people a checklist, here's some things to stay safe. The other thing, to use the storm idea is, I'm thinking of COVID. During COVID, as realtors, we were essential. We were considered essentials. So a lot of people who were locked down, one of the things I did is I would call and text and say, I'm essential. Is there anything you need? Do you need me to run to the store? You need me to do this? You need me to do that? And then I ran around and went to all my clients and dropped off little gifts. And, if they didn't want to see me, I dropped them off. But it was just a way to connect with people, and they really appreciated that.
Yeah, and to pull something from John Moran's playbook, get with a vendor of yours, go down to Lowe's, Home Depot, one of the places, and buy a bunch of batteries, and then do a video and say, hey, there's a storm coming, and that means electricity could get blown out. Have you checked your flashlight lately? Do you have batteries for your flashlight? Show us a picture of your flashlight, and we'll get some batteries to you, because we want them charged and ready in case the lights go out. And start passing out batteries, whatever.
Or flashlights.
Yeah. Yeah. Pass out flashlights, whatever that is. So how hard is it to come up with the MOFR? I don't think it is. And I'd love to hear from those that are watching from wherever you're watching from, and winning from. What are some of the news events that you're keyed into? Back to school drive. Look at this. Olivia, brilliant. That is something that's happening right now. So why not be the person that goes into your farm area and say, there are children that are going back to school that may not have the funds for the supplies. We're doing a back to school drive. Here's a list of things. I'm going to drop off a bag, and I'm going to be picking it up at this time. And we'll be providing this. Great idea.
Yeah, and I used to do every year. My kids are older than my youngest is in college, but when they were younger, obviously I had, families and friends that were closer in age. You kind of are with the age, but I would go to Walmart. Of course, this time of year, everything is $1. Well, it's probably $2, $3, $4, $5 now, but I would get these little pencil cases that were, I don't know, 5 by 8, and I would fill them up with, I would buy packs of things and then break them down and put a couple pencils, erasers, glue sticks, and I would put them in little cases and go drop them off. And it gives you an excuse to go get in front of all of your clients and have multiple. If they have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, you give them one of, each color. And you're not even bringing up real estate. You're giving yourself an excuse to get in front of as many people as possible. Yeah. And then they bring up real estate and you don't have to do it.
Right.
So true. So true. So I'd love for y'all to comment in the comment section. What is the thing in your area? What is the news right now? Everybody just take a quick moment, post in there. What is the thing in your area that is upcoming in the news? Something that you can speak about, that you can use to, once again, create that news report, that reel, that post, and MOFR around that. I'd love to hear what is the thing in your area that you can speak to. So really what this comes back around to is, am I highly visible and seen as a person of value? If you, in order for a MOFR to work, make offer for immediate response, you have to make it something of value. And too many times what we miss is we're just trying to be cute instead of valuable. I see some of these reels and they catch my attention, and maybe they do sell and maybe there's some value of just crazy stuff highlighting a property, and maybe it goes viral. I'm open to being persuaded, but I think that the longevity comes by getting far more granular and getting in there and adding value to people's lives rather than just trying to be TikTok famous.
Mhm.
What do y'all
And I
think?
would say, one of the things is if it's something that is an elephant in the room, if it's something that everyone's talking about but they don't want to talk about, those are the best. If it's something that there's a lot of fear around or animosity, address those items and face them and then ask for comments, because if it's a hot button issue, you're going to get a lot more comments.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be opinionated. I mean, don't, stir the pot in a point that you're aggravating people and losing half your clients, but be vocal about, the pros and the cons. You can state facts on both sides without being opinionated and pigeonholing yourself.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. Destiny, what are you thinking? What's coming to your mind?
Well, I love making reels. And so I'm thinking about, even today is the second day of the month. And that's when I normally change my air filters and clean my AC line with a little bit of bleach. That'd be a fun tip to just do a quick video on and send out to the people in my sphere and other people even in the area. Hey, just a reminder, time to change your air filters. That's just providing a little piece of value that can help, with your AC efficiency. That's an expensive fix if it breaks down,
Yeah.
and it's hot right now. So things are running pretty hard. So just doing those little tidbits of information, I think, can help as well.
What would be interesting is maybe that of air filter give out once a quarter.
Yep.
Something of that nature. We've got jellyfish, sharks, sea turtles. Oh my, the meaning of flag colors. That's a good one.
Mhm.
There's so many things that you can use. Do you know what I did yesterday?
No, tell us.
I gave my dog her flea, tick, and worm pill. I do it on the first of every month.
Mhm.
How many parents of fur babies maybe forget to do that and they don't have a ritual? So you could have hey, it's time to give your dog its flea and tick pill this month. Whatever it is, speak to your crowd.
Right.
So let's come back around. We want to be relevant. We want to speak to people about things that people are speaking about.
Mhm.
If it's on the news, be there. We're entering into a political season. You know what? People can get nasty during this time. So speak about positive things. And it could be very well about, hey, I'm running for office. I'm running for the friendliest person on the coast, whatever it is. No more nastiness, no nastiness spoken here, and make fun of it, but do it in a positive, uplifting way. If that's getting you down, find that way to send out that message.
Mhm.
The main thing is, and Julie, to your point, if people are talking about it, you ought to be addressing it. So there are always opportunities all around you. So let's bring it around. Would love your comments, but as we kind of wrap this up for the week, before I do what John always does, identify. Let's go back through the pieces here. Today, right now, as soon as this is off, identify what thing is in your area. Go ahead and identify one thing. Create a news report about what's happening. I don't know what to say. Well, just kind of put in the details and ask ChatGPT to help you kind of come up with some bullet points that you could use on a reel. Think about establishing a MOFR around that thing. Once again, you're not being creative. ChatGPT is one of those things that may give you some ideas. Say, give me 10 offers for immediate response related to this story that I could offer that don't cost more than this, or what have you. And then reach out. Don't just post it on Reel. Reach out.
Right.
Real estate's a contact sport. Go ahead and have the conversations. Have the conversations with the people in your area. Talk to the owners, talk to the buyers, talk to the sellers, talk to the people in your geographic area, and tell them about your MOFR. If it's something of great enough value, why would you not shout it from the rooftop? So that is,
I mean, it's something we do every day, quite frankly, you think about it. So we're trying to come up with reasons. And what is real estate? Real estate is lead gen. If you're not doing lead gen, you lose.
Right.
So we're looking for excuses, reasons to talk to people, topics to talk to people. So, if you're trying to make 20, 25, 30 calls a day and you're able to make 5, great. But the point is you're trying to get in front of people. The best way that you're going to sell real estate, you have to get in front of people. You have to have the appointments, whether it's a buyer or a seller.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to have the funnel to get, the appointments. So what conversation can you have with people? What excuse? Like I said, I used to drop off the back to school kits. I would drop off wine bottle opener, flashlights. Come up with reasons to get face to face with people, whether it's for sale by owner, expired in your neighborhood, or making calls, so that you're having conversations with people, and you don't always have to talk about real estate, because when you call them and you reach out, you're building a relationship, and they know that you're in real estate. You can always say, I'm never too busy for your referrals, but they're going to bring up real estate when you call. You don't have to do it. You'd be surprised. You just make the contact and they'll bring it up.
I love this. Shayna says it's never a cold call or a cold meet if you're providing something of value. And I'm just going to riff here for a second. Imagine you're at a taco truck and it's great food, and you say, hey, look, would you give like a 10% discount to all of my friends? I want to call everybody in my database and say, I had such a great experience with you. And if they come down in the next couple of days and use this passcode or this secret phrase, they get 10% off their taco orders. Would you do that deal? All right, you give me the word, and I'm going to reach out to everybody and say, look, I just had this great experience at the taco truck. It was so good. I wanted you to know about it. And by the way, I've struck a deal with him. If you go by and the next couple days and you say, Mark's my realtor, he'll give you 10% off your order, and you're going to love it, and you're going to thank me for it, because it's the best tasting tacos in the area.
You can do that regularly. Mm-hmm. So you come up with businesses that surround your farm area, and you go in and then you regularly post or email or put something about that. And the password could always be, Mark is my realtor. Mm-hmm. I've done that with people who make wedding cakes and birthday cakes, and give them a discount if they use this passcode. But I didn't think, Julie's my realtor. Yeah. That needs to be your passcode, right? So then you're making people actually say something in a positive way about you, and then it's imprinting on their brain.
Right.
You can do that regularly with any kind of business.
Anytime you have a great experience, say, I'd love to share this with my people. Look, people spend tons of money on influencers to influence people to come in and buy. Mm-hmm. And what we're saying is it's only a cost on the discount when they say Mark's your realtor, or Destiny's your realtor. Destiny, give us something, because John always says, find that one thing to create the win on the Friday, to go out strong, go out fighting. What would be the charge to our viewers right now, our winners who are watching?
Well, I think, to play on what's going on in our area, like Olivia said, kids are getting ready to go back to school. I had a person contact me asking if I wanted to sponsor their kid. They're getting ready to play sports. And now I'm thinking, why not? Why not sponsor their kid and their sports team? Sports is huge with all the schools and stuff that we have here, to contribute the Gatorades and go to a couple of those games, expand my area. My kids don't have to go to that school for me to go and participate. So having those face-to-face interactions and saying, hey, Destiny Powell Realtor is sponsoring your child.
And don't be afraid to market that. So I have title companies print little labels, and I just, peel and stick, and I stick them right over the top of water bottles. So every single time, I go do an open house, I have labels that say Julie Moore's Premier Team with my phone number. You can do that with sponsorship with kids.
I love it. You could definitely even wrap a nice cooler and say, look, once a week, I'm going to drop off at practice. Make sure it's when the parents are there, right? I'm going to drop off Gatorade for the practice. If it's in your area, find those things of adding value. All right, gang. We're going to go out strong. We're going to win the day. Let's finish strong. Let's push hard. Go ahead and identify that thing in your area, that news in your area. Create a report, create something. Think of the MOFR, the offer of value that moves people now, so that you can then have a point of contact, a reason to contact your homeowners, your home buyers, the people in your area that are wanting to sell, and they want to respond. And now you're in conversation. That's where you're going to win. Thank y'all so much. Have a great week.
Happy Friday.
Next week.
Have a good weekend.